Hi folks, this is Greg with Best Choice Trailers. Today I'm going to take you for a walk around a Trac Gooseneck dump trailer. They make these in a few different lengths, 12, 14, and 16 foot. Today I selected a 16 foot as that would probably be the most common size we sell these in. We also do quite a few of the 14s. Offered in a few different hoist types. Today I'm showing you a dual ram. Also offered in a telescopic 14 or a scissor 14 and 16. Okay, this being a single wheel, it's going to be a 14,000 pound GVW. Unit empty is going to weigh in the fours. It's going to give you legal payload of about 10,000 pound plus tongue weight. Tongue weight's going to be about 3,000 pound on a unit like this. There's a couple different things that they do on these. On the neck beams of these, they put a nice gusset plate on there. Also put an under bridge gusset or an under frame gusset. Do a front toolbox. Dual rams are going to be a power up, power down. Notice the two solenoids. Deca deep cycle marine battery on the 16 footers. They're using a group 31. They've also got a 110 volt charger. Lockable toolbox. Come over here to the jacks. You'll notice they do dual jacks. One nice feature of the dual jacks would be you get grease zerts on them. Spring foot, all you gotta do is pull the pin, it pops up. And you also notice they do a removable bolt-on jack. That way if you mess it up, you can replace it. Gooseneck coupler. We can also put a fifth wheel coupler in instead. It's got your standard safety chains. They use a sealed wire harness on these. The one thing you'll notice, this is an older piece of inventory for us. Just happened to be the one that we grabbed to do the video today. Still good looking trailer, other than the sticker fade up at the front. Trac does a phenomenal powder coat. Their process is quite a bit different than some of our other manufacturers and the other stuff that we've seen in the market. So a couple of things that they do a little bit different. They store all their steel inside. It comes off the truck, literally gets unloaded into the building. They weld the unit, do a full steel grit blast on the entire trailer once it's welded and assembled. Then they do a phosphate wash like most of your powder coating. Then they have another step after that that'd be like a zinc chromate. Just gives the powder coat a phenomenal adhesion. And then of course they finish with the powder coating. Not all powder coating is created equal. Quite a bit of it has to do with the prep. It's important to know how it's prepped. And if you can physically see the prep, which in most instances isn't possible, that'd be very important. Trac also does a bulkhead here, front and rear. Okay, this is something that's pretty unique to them. There's only a few in the industry that do anything quite like that. It does a few things for you. One, it gives you a spot at the rear that you can do a sideboard extension. So you can put a 2x10 or a 2x12 in there. Also puts the lights where guys can actually see them. Okay, guy behind you will be able to see the lights. Also up front, it's going to give you a spot to mount your tarp. And then I find for lighter weight debris, the bulkhead just helps keep from getting mulch and whatnot knocked out. You also notice in the center there's a prop there. Somebody puts like a tractor bucket or something up there, which you shouldn't do, but that would help hopefully keep from damaging that front panel. Spare tire mount, standard, spare is not. Okay, notice this, they call this an integrated body stiffener. Gives a lot of strength to the sidewall of the trailer without adding a lot of extra weight. There's only a few manufacturers that do something quite like that. And most of them, what I find is they weld it on. This actually is formed into the wall. The reason they do that, it stays looking nice down the road. You don't get acid rain and salt and whatnot in those joint areas. You also notice Trac takes the time to put about twice the height of most stake pockets on there. That way if you do build a side, it doesn't have leverage and bend your sidewall panel. I also like how they keep the stake pockets up near against the top of that side rail. That way if a bucket or something were to impact that top rail, it's got supports going down the sides. Also notice they put a double broke fender on standard. Double broke's going to give you a little bit stronger fender than just a single broke. Integrated side step with the expanded mesh. Going down the sides, you're also going to find a lot of the like a rope ring type setup that you can take a tarp and bungee down, going down the sides. 2-foot sidewalls are standard. I noticed some in the industry do a little bit shorter sidewall, 20 inch or so, but this is still the old school method, which was 2 foot. Our normal recommendation, if you do build sides, is don't go any taller than the factory sides, so no more than a 2-foot extension would be our recommendation. Double pass welds at your hinge point. Also notice grease zert with bushing at your hinge point. Trac uses a box tube main frame, and then they also do a box tube bed frame. The reason they do that, gives you a lot of strength, and it resists the twisting that you might get on the trailer. Also notice they take time to cap the end of that tube so you don't get your acid rain and salt in there. Do a little bit of an underframe bridge there at your hinge point. I think what you'll find with Trac is they're very well engineered, more so than most of the trailers that I put my hands on. 10-ply radial tires, 8-lug wheels, 7,000-pound axles. It's got your forward adjusting brakes and your easy loop hubs. These come through with white wheels. We'll be more than happy to put you a silver wheel on at no charge if you like silver better. Comes through standard with your slipper springs, and in there you'd see a grease zert. I'd refer to that as a wet bolt kit. You'll put the unit up so you can see the underside of this. Generally speaking, I'm not a big fan of a dual ram cylinder or a dual ram piston setup on a unit this size. However, Trac upgrades their cylinders on their 16s to a 4x42. I think most in the industry you'll find are going to use a 3x30. The 4x42, if you think about it, folks, that gives you about 12 more inches of cylinder and about 12 more inches of stroke, which is about 2 more foot of leverage. On a dump trailer, you're going to get about 10 inch behind the center point and 14 inch in front for every 2 foot you add. So you've netted about 10 extra inches of stroke beyond what would normally be required to 14 inch. Long and short of it is the 16 footer with these 4x42 cylinders actually gets you more angle than what would be on most scissors or telescopics, and it actually runs at a lower operating pressure because of the size. So again, not normally a fan of dual rams on a trailer this size, but in this instance, based on the size of the cylinders, I'm more than happy to not only sell this trailer, but I'd be more than happy to use it myself. It's a pretty impressive rig. So you notice the way Trac does this trailer, it's not only got your main frame, but it's also got an underframe bridge going back. Got an integrated tool tray. Trac does a pretty phenomenal job on their wiring. Everything's sealed. That one there's shrink tube, grommeted, ran in frame. Again, there's a look at those 4x42 cylinders. Again, your wiring's all sealed on your brakes as well, grommeted. Good look at your pivot point. Everything's got grease zerts. Being that it's got a little heavier bed frame, they also use a little heavier cross members. On these, they're going to have a 4-inch cross member instead of a 3. Undermount ramps, of course. Now, one little detail I like about Trac, they put a 1/2-inch plate on the end of that ramp. We've had some before with 1/4-inch plate from different manufacturers. It did bend over time. So the 1x2 tube keeps it from pulling away from the trailer. Weight bears on the back 4 or 5 inches of the trailer, and then a 1/2-inch plate just keeps that ramp from bending. Again, a lot of smart engineering that we see in these units. Yeah, take a step back so you can see the lift angle. Most dumps are going to get to about a 45-degree angle. We've measured these a little bit beyond 45. Unit like this, you're going to have about 12 to 13,000 pound legal payload. We do offer it in heavier axles. You can get it in AK axles as well. Notice where your wiring comes out of frame. It's all silicone. Got a Fender support there. got grease zerks on your door. It's got a cam bar lock. It's got safety chains that would swing the gate around. It goes all the way back along the side. That's another little detail. A lot of your gates you're going to find, or at least used to anyway, all come to a 90, and if you had a pile of stone here and you dump from the other side, a lot of guys would tweak the door. You'd sell more replacement parts with the old school design. Again, this is a 7x16 short track gooseneck dump, also available in the scissor hoist, also available in 14-foot length as well. Stock it as well with the 8,000-pound axles. If you have any questions about this or any of our other trailers, give us a ring, 717-220-4220, or visit us on the web at bestchoicetrailers.com. Thanks for looking.